Very disturbing news from the Pentagon today. A new report shows a stunning rise in suicides within the armed forces within the last month. 24 possible suicides during the month of January. And listen to this, that is more than the 9 soldiers killed in Afghanistan last month and the 14 killed in Iraq combined. It's a big deal. Jon Soltz is co-founder and chairman of VoteVets.org and served as a captain in the U.S. Army during Operation Iraqi Freedom. And John, we should really ring the alarm bell on this because this is stunning. We now have more soldiers who committed suicide last month than those that died in action in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. What is this bringing light to in terms of the health of our soldiers?
It's to be honest, not very surprising. Those of us who have been in the military. You know, we've relied a lot on Zoloft and Ambien and sleeping pills and antidepressants for a medicated military. Vote Vets, we worked with Mark Thompson on a timepiece about 6 or 7 months ago that talked about there's almost 20,000 troops in Iraq and Afghanistan combined out of the 150, 160,000 total that are on these types of medicated antidepressants in a war zone. So when you have 2, 3, 4 deployments, it wears on the mind. 14, 15 months in combat. You never know when you're going to get hit. You come home and your wife's shacked up with another guy. I mean, it's a really hard thing for an overextended military. And we've got problems actually getting people in the system with diagnosis of PTSD on the VA side, which is a whole other issue. So it's not surprising. And it's actually, the way we look at it almost is it's a part of the war. Some people die in combat, and then unfortunately some people take their lives at home, and it's just, we're not doing enough.
But is this a sign of the product of a U.S. military that is stretched too thin, that has been stretched to the breaking point?
It's stretched to the breaking point, but it also has to do with the fact that it's not, they don't want to pay for the disabilities when soldiers come home. It's a lot easier to give someone Zoloft and Prozac and send them back to the war zone than it is to say, hold on. Let's see if you actually qualify for post-traumatic stress disorder. If you qualify for PTSD, then you're going to qualify for veterans benefits, and then we have to pay for you on the backside. So it's better to say, pop these pills, you're going to be okay in 6 months, and they keep them in a war zone.
We know, of course, that First Lady Michelle Obama has said she's going to focus on military families. What has President Obama said, and what do we know about the new head of the VA, General Shinseki, and what he plans to do when it comes to the mental health of our men and women in the military?
Yeah, I don't know who they could have picked that would be better or more qualified for this than General Shinseki. He's the former chief of staff of the Army, which means he was the force provider. So not only does he understand the military and combat as someone who lost part of his leg in Vietnam, but he understands the bureaucracy of the Army. I mean, this is largely an Army and Marine Corps problem, which is a branch he's familiar with. So he understands the bureaucratic issues. He understands the mind himself. They just appointed Tammy Duckworth to go over there, who is personal experience with transferring from the Department of Defense medical facilities over into the VA. So they've put some very qualified people in these positions, and I think it's going to take them 18 months, unfortunately, 2 years. I mean, this is like the economy. The economy's in bad shape. So is there's been nothing done on these issues for the last 8 years. The VA's been decimated by the Bush administration. We'll see what, he's put some great people over there.
Yeah, Tammy Duckworth, who lost both of her legs, of course, in a helicopter accident. Jon Soltz, thanks so much. It's a sad report, and hopefully it's a wake-up call for a lot of people as well about the health of our soldiers. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.